Hello, Ursula, dear. Oh, what's the rush? Is there something wrong?
Wrong? Wrong? That dim-witted, insane, ragged old stinky owl. That's what's wrong.
Whoa. It's all right, Ursula. Just tell us what happened.
What happened? You happened. And Wessler's goons. It was supposed to be the only day of the year we could have relaxed a little.
We're sorry, Ursula. You're right.
Like I care, Marty. I'm tired of this. Tired of the bitter old owl, and I'm tired of waiting.
And?
Never mind. I'm going. This time, I'm going for good.
Hang in there, Ursula. And if there's anything we can do to help.
Anything? Of course there is, my dear. I never want to see your faces again.
Ouch.
I'm gonna try to talk to the old owl, all right?
Good luck with that.
Oh, and Ursula, thanks for all you've done for us. With the car.
You know, I'm starting to regret it.
That was...
Rough.
yeah.
But understandable. I only see Bubo once a year, and even that's way too much.
A lot of people feel the same about us.
Yeah, that's true. What about your experiments, Doc?
What? How do you know about the experiments?
I'm just,
If you dare to squeal about them, Sonny, I swear I'm gonna strangle your little skinny chicken neck.
Hey, stop right there. I was bluffing, okay? I don't know about any experiments.
Oh, now I'm suddenly interested.
What? Oh, I was just joking with you two boys. There are no experiments at all. You know me, right?
Yeah. I was never so scared as when I was lying here and you were leaning over me, Doc.
Do you mean that time when McChicken shot you?
Yeah.
That was a night to remember.
Ah, don't even mention it. Good old days.
Hey, what's up, Doc? Somehow we guessed we'd find you still awake.
Stop playing innocent. I've heard that little intermezzo. I have the ears of an owl, you know.
We're very sorry, Bubo. I'm sure she'll come back.
Of course she'll come back. She loves me. I don't know why. And she's afraid that I'll drink myself to death once she's gone for good.
She's not wrong about that.
What do you want? Haven't you caused enough trouble already?
We're here for some information. Then we'll be out of your hair. I mean, feathers.
Who cares? So what do you want? And be quick about it.
Say, Bubo, about Ursula.
What about her?
Well, that's just it. What if she's not coming back? I'm a little worried about you, Doc. And you know that's not my style.
Well, don't worry, boys. The wind's blowing, the sun's shining.
And Ursula always comes back.
Exactly. There are things in the universe that are unchangeable.
Touching, but you should be prepared for the worst. I thought Molly was coming back too, you know.
Oh, yeah.
I trust Ursula, Sonny. What else can I do?
Well, to be honest, that's all you can do. What do you know about this wristband, Bubo?
Zip said they gave these to patients in hospitals. That's why we came back to you.
Something similar, yes, but not exactly the same. It's different.
And?
And what?
Well, what do you think? Where's this from?
How the hoot would I know, Sonny? What am I, some kind of psychic? That I put my hands on it and tell you?
Okay, let's try another approach. Do you have any idea why Wessler's men were looking for Zip so hard?
I don't. How should I know? Why should I care?
He had to hide a body. The body of someone Wessler killed. The wristband is from the corpse.
Really?
That rang a bell, old owl.
Well, boys, if I'm right, you're in deep shit.
That's more like it.
Tell us, Bubo.
So, Wessler, the wristband, and a corpse, huh? It looks very much like I know the connection. Or at least I have a hunch.
Out with it, Owlface.
Okay, don't peck me, chickens. Hobart Ibn Wessler has a relative who happens to be a resident at an insane asylum. The band is very likely from there.
Wait, a relative? What kind of relative?
Yeah. You don't know? I thought you were the detectives. Anyway, Ibn Wessler has a twin brother, Albert.
Albert Wessler.
You put it together very skillfully, Marty. Yes, Albert Wessler. He's a madman kept in solitary confinement.
Do you think he's the corpse? But why?
How the hell should I know that?
Thanks, Bubo. If what you told us is true, then this time we'll owe you one.
Will wonders never cease?
So, Albert Wessler. Which asylum do you mean, Bubo?
It's got some fancy long name. I don't remember, but I have a brochure. Let me find it for you.
Thanks, Bubo.
Here it is. Let There Be Peace Forever. Mental Institution for Ill and Damaged Minds. Quite a beakful.
Where can we find it? I've never heard of it.
It's a good 6-hour drive from Clawville. Maybe more. But you'll find everything in the brochure.
You're the best, Bubo. You finally proved useful.
Whew. Finally? Now get your chicken scratchers out of here while I'm asking nicely. Just one more thing.
What's that, Bubo?
If that someone was really Albert Wessler, the trouble's bigger than you think.
It's always bigger than we think, Bubo. We're used to it.
You don't understand. Ibn Wessler never loved and respected anyone in his life like he did his brother Albert.
So what?
Then the problem's bigger than we thought. A cornered rat bites.
Well, thanks for worrying about us, Doc. But there's no way back from here. Too far, too late.
We're like hounds, old man. Once we've caught someone's leg, we never let it go.
Ooh, not while you're alive, eh?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, goodbye then, fellas. And I wouldn't mind if you never visited me again.
The pleasure was all ours, Doc. You're the best, Bubo. You finally proved useful.
Take care, gentlemen.
Is that...
I'll leave that...
Please.
I'm sorry.
Thanks.
Don't mention...
Tell me, lads.
Just your return. We had to gather ourselves, take a deep breath, and think over what we knew so far. What the chickens? That I got myself into? What did I drag Marty into? Moreover, what had we pulled the whole city into? This was going to be one of those cases that changed things forever. But I wasn't worried about
A
myself.
secret twin brother? Sonny, I'm starting to feel like we're really in a detective novel. A cheap one.
Yeah, but, listen, Marty.
What is it, Boss Bird?
I think it's best if we go our separate ways.
What? Are you joking? I know you have a weak sense of humor, but there's a limit to everything.
I'm not joking, Marty.
Well, I certainly hope you are.
Whatever comes next, you don't need to be mixed up in it. You have someone to go home to.
Gosh damn it, Sonny. Can you hear yourself? What do you think? I endured all this to give up now? What do you take me for? No, pal. You're not getting rid of me so easily.
I just want you to keep your career and your life intact, you moron. Just accept it, shake my hand, and go home. Your wife, Laura's waiting for you.
One more word, Sonny, and I swear I'm gonna bash your beak in. I risked my life more than once tonight. You know why?
No, why?
Because we're a team. We have been a team for almost a decade. I don't care what Blood Boil says or whatever's on a goddamn piece of paper. We're the Chicken Police, Sonny. And we always will be.
I'm sorry. You're right.
We're gonna go to that insane asylum and wrap this shit up fast and clean. Yeah, just like you said, even if it kills us.
Thanks, Marty. Without you, I'd most likely already be sleeping the big sleep.
Birds of a feather flock together, right?
Like you say, partner.
Let's drop this before you start crying on me, okay?
I hope not.
You almost just did.
Clock off, Marty.
That's the spirit, the Sonny I know and hate. Please say the floor inside is covered with conspiracy theory.
More like dirty clothes and empty...
You're no fun.
Well, you'll get old of it.
Never.
A stack of papers. A closet that... What do you think, Marty?
What? You care what I think? You must have hit your head pretty bad.
Stop fooling around, Marty. I'm serious. So what do you think? About everything?
Well, I think we're in deep shit. But to be honest, Ibn Wessler is in deeper shit.
Do you think he really murdered his brother? But why? And what does it have to do with Natasha and the threats?
Doesn't add up yet. Something's missing. Let's visit the institution and try to find out what we can about this Albert Wessler fella.
Exactly. If he's the dead body, we've got to know what the motive was. If we can't, and if he's still alive, we gotta ask him directly.
And what do you think, Sonny?
I think Ibn, Albert, and Natasha are the three key players in this case, and that all of it has something to do with the brothel.
And the fact that Natasha used to be a... courtesan?
Yeah, that too.
Listen, Sonny, about Molly.
Oh, just forget it, Marty, okay? She's not part of my life anymore, so that's exactly what I'm gonna do. Forget it. Let's concentrate on the case, and on making it out alive, and helping Natasha, too.
Whatever you say, Boss Bird. So you think Natasha's really in danger?
It could be, or she could even be behind everything.
No, you don't believe that.
I'm not sure what I believe, Marty. Let's see. Things got mixed up at the brothel. Natasha used to work there, that's obvious. And Ibn wanted to keep that a secret. A secret, it seems, somebody else had to pay for. For that secret. Zip hid the body, but he kept the wristband. Who could it belong to? The dead body was almost certainly Albert Wessler, a resident of an insane asylum. But why did he have to die?
So where exactly is this place?
A few hours' drive from here, in the middle of nowhere. It's a creepy old mansion, of course.
You think it's a good idea to go there? What if it's a trap?
I told you, you can still go back.
Huh, wouldn't you love that? No such luck, boss. If I get killed or locked up forever in an insane asylum, that's gonna be on you.
Thanks, pal. I deserved that.
You still trust her?
I never trusted her, Marty.
I mean, you believe her?
I'm sure she was honestly afraid. People don't fake it that easy. But I can understand why she didn't tell us about her, former profession.
Or how she knows Molly.
Yeah, that too. And the death of Deborah complicated things even more.
Hey, Sonny, she didn't seduce you, right? I mean, Natasha.
Ah, don't be stupid, Marty. My old ticker hasn't been beating for a long time. Not that way, anyway.
Yeah, all right, boss. So what do you think happened to the corpse?
Probably been eaten. Horrible to think about, but even if half of what they say about the Hive is true, starvation, riots, arson, predation.
You're telling me. Makes my feathers stand on end when I think about what goes on in there. And we pretend we don't know about it. As if Roachtown isn't even part of Clawville.
This won't end well. I'm afraid soon Clawville's gonna burn once again. And because of its own foolishness.
Well, that's if another meat war doesn't break out first. 'Cause then, the whole wilderness will burn.
Lovely prospects, eh?
Either way, it was a damn clever move for Wessler to hide the body in Roachtown.
It's the only place no one will ever find it.
Like the belly of a burning ship.
Oh, I think that was an intentional red herring.
Sounds about right. Who'd have thought? I believed that little rat. I thought he'd changed. Idiot.
There's a point when it's too late to change, Marty. His past caught up with him. Whatever he did since then doesn't matter.
Not much.
Exactly. And that's the case with us, too. That's why I won't back down. Even though a voice in my head is screaming right now, leave it all to hell and have another drink.
Maybe we should do that.
Maybe we should.
Okay, so the picture is more or less clear. Ibn's got his brother killed because he learned Natasha worked in a brothel.
Well, that could be the case, but I believe the roots go deeper than that.
Which we'd only learn if we talked to him. I mean, if the corpse isn't him, because then we'd need a medium.
Which would be exciting, but maybe it's enough if we ask the doctor who treated him.
That too, yeah. But where's the fun in that? It's chaos and...
Yeah, I never thought I...
Ah, that feels good.
Just don't get too excited.
You've heard the gossip, haven't you? That
Everyone heard that.
I don't know.
You watch too many movies, Marty.
It must be horrible.
Because it's not.
Ah, so you do believe in them.
I believe in the...
You're an awfully warm... Hey, if you like music so much... The Silence of Clawville.
Yeah, something like...
So...
Not long after
I see.
I helped around the office.
So you were a kindergarten...
No!
Relax, son.
Stop it right there, Marty.
Can I ask an honest question?
If you must.
You think of her differently?
I don't really know.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
But yeah, Marty, I think of...
I'm sorry.
I know, Marty. Books I've never read.
You know,
We've met her on an...
maybe Susie's...
You've read too much of...
Yeah, you're...
I know. When all of this is over... You're the best, Bubo. You finally... Why did you keep... Oh, man. It's a piece of a painting. Come to Daddy, darling. I've had enough stimulation for today. I still have nightmares about the Great Fire.
Really? Were you alive then? How old are you exactly?
I was 3. And maybe it's not even a true memory. Just the collective memory of the city.
Hey, wait a minute.
Exactly, Marty. We were just visiting Clawville when the fire broke out.
I'm surprised you ever returned.
Well, maybe that's the reason I did return, Marty. It's like when someone falls in love with their captor, you know? Somehow I feel like this is my place, no matter how much suffering it brings.
Heavy stuff.
You're the best, Booba.
Hello. You've called the Let There Be Peace Forever mental institution for ill and damaged minds. What can I do for you, sir? Or madam?
Well, I'd like to inquire about a patient who I believe is being treated at your institution. His name is Albert Wessler.
I'm sorry, sir, but I can't give out that information if you don't have the password given to relatives. Do you have one?
Unfortunately, I don't have that. I'm not a relative. I'm calling from the Clawville Police Department.
Oh, I see. In that case, officer, I'd advise you to visit our institution personally. Our director and I would be happy to answer your questions.
Thank you, miss. I guess I'll do that.
We'll welcome you with open arms, sir. Have yourself a beautiful, starlit night.
Oh, thanks. Goodbye.
See you soon.
So,
We have to go there.
the thought gives me goosebumps.
Chicken bumps aren't good enough for you?
Ha ha ha. So, I get the couch?
It'd be better if I called Lewis. He'll open up a room for you to sleep in.
Whew, great idea.
Hey, Lewis, it's me again.
Oh, hello, Sonny. What's up?
Were you sleeping, pal?
Me? Oh, I wasn't. Anyway, I'm always at your service.
Would you open up a room for Marty?
Naturally, Sonny.
Thanks, Lewis. I'm not even gonna say it.
I will. You owe me one. Again.
Yeah. I slept like I used to sleep years ago. Like a miner or a soldier. Empty. Dead tired. Then I saw Tessa. My darling little daughter. But no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't recall her face. I reached out to her, but she just kept getting further and further away. Then I saw Molly. But she wasn't real. Just the ghost of a memory. I'm here, I cried. But all I heard was laughter. Not hers. Who's there? Suddenly, she appeared. Natasha. Just stood there laughing. But her eyes were cold. Then she said something. Painted red. Painted red. Painted red. That was just a dream, Sonny. Nothing more. I looked at Marty and I saw the same thing in his eyes as he probably saw in mine. It's time to hit the brakes, to turn back, go home and forget about all of this. Of course, I stepped on the gas instead. Honestly, I wasn't expecting anything good, but this...
Ooh, just like a horror movie.
I was thinking the same.
Appearances can be deceiving.
Let's hope so. We should check in first. This picture...
It's very...
special?
Even if you manage to escape, there's nothing but hills and forests for 100 miles.
Imagine how many poor lunatic ghosts must haunt those woods.
Ooh, Sonny, you're creeping me out. This guy seems strangely familiar to me.
You don't say. You've been treated here too. That would explain a lot.
Oh, don't be stupid. I'm serious. Take a closer look.
No.
Well?
No, it can't be. Are you telling me it's him? M.B. Davis himself?
I'm sure of it, pal. It seems the gossip was true. The eternal king of jazz in a madhouse.
Oh, no. The poor devil.
Of all the great wild ones,
Greetings, miss.
is it really you?
Well, yes.
Yes, it really is you, the chicken police.
I'm afraid so.
Of all that's furry and plumey, that's fantastic. Oh, my goodness.
Miss, we'd like to ask...
Please, don't be scared. I'm just really excited. You know, I've read every book about you and your adventures, and I even collected newspaper articles when I was a little girl.
Indeed.
You can't imagine what an honor it is to meet you in person.
We really...
Oh, God, oh, God, oh, God. Take a deep breath, Miranda. Take a deep breath.
Are you okay, miss?
Yes, I am. I just needed some air. So, dear detectives, Santino and Martin, what can I do for you?
Well, miss, we have some questions, if you don't mind.
I'd love to answer all of your questions, detectives.
We should go to reception. Say, miss, what can you tell us about this place?
Our institution was standing even before the Great Meat War, and during the war, it was transformed into a military hospital. Since then, we're relentlessly working on treating injured minds under the leadership of Dr. Quetzal, the famous specialist.
The place seems pretty empty. Do many people work here?
We have 32 residents and 7 nurses, including me. We also have a 3-person maintenance and cleaning staff, and, of course, the heart and soul of our institution, Dr. Quetzal himself.
I see. Now, this Dr. Quetzal, is he the director here?
Exactly. Director, scientist, researcher, patron, and doctor. And even a friend.
Quite a guy.
He certainly is.
So who is this Dr. Quetzal exactly?
He's a world-famous researcher of the mind, Mr. Featherland. He published countless books in the fields of psychology and psychotherapy.
Psycho... what?
Unraveling the mind. It's the most crucial mission of the century, Mr. McChicken.
That's really good to know.
So this doctor's some celebrity, right? Does he usually meet, other important persons?
I'm not sure I know what you mean.
Well, like, Mr. Hobart Wessler, for example.
Ah, yes. That's something you should ask the doctor himself, but unfortunately, I don't think he has time right now.
He's swamped, is he?
Exactly, Mr. Featherland. He is very, very, very busy. All the time.
I thought so. What can you say about this, miss? Have you, seen anything like it?
Of course. Our residents wear these for identification. But how did you come by it? They only wear them inside the institution.
Huh. I see.
The wristband does belong to one of our residents. But I'm afraid I'm not allowed to tell you more due to regulations.
Oh, come on, Miranda. It's us, the Chicken Police.
I'm sorry, I can't.
Miranda, this case is a matter of life and death. Lives are in your hands.
All right. All right. I'll do it. Albert Wessler. The patient's name is Albert Thaddeus Wessler.
Figures. Just as we thought.
Thank you, Miranda. We'll never forget this.
Please, don't make me blush. And don't tell anyone you heard it from me.
Oh, we won't. I promise.
So when can we talk to Mr. Wessler?
I need to ask Dr. Quetzal. Please wait here.
Thank you.
We need to let them know we're here first.
Dr. Quetzal will see you. He's waiting for you in his office. Up the stairs, all the way down the hall, until the last door.
What a surprise. It's enough to mention Wessler's name and all the doors are open.
I wouldn't want to get mixed up in this, but do you think Albert is in danger?
Danger? What do you mean?
We haven't heard from him since he disappeared, and we're really, really worried.
I see. We don't know yet, miss, but let's hope for the best.
Great wild ones protect him.
Where is he?
No idea, Marty.
The smell of all that's furry. I'll never get used to it.
Well, reptiles have a disgusting body odor, Marty, but they feel exactly the same about us.
Exactly.
Great wild ones, you scared the hell out of me.
I already sensed your arrival from afar. You know, snakes have a different sense of smell, and birds used to be our prey once upon a time.
Well, yeah. Luckily, we're living in civilized times.
Lucky. Please take a seat. How can I help you, gentlemen?
Your office is, rather Puritan. Simple, I mean.
Ain't that the truth?
Well, yes. I can't let my mind wander from my work. I only keep what's essential in my office.
I see. That makes sense. Why do you have bars on your windows?
Because it's a room like all the others, and I'm just an animal, too, like all our residents.
With the significant difference of you being a doctor and not a patient, am I right?
It's not as big of a difference as you'd think.
Is this cell like the others?
I would rather call it a room. But yes, it's like all the others, except there are even bigger ones than this.
An isle of reason in a sea of insanity.
Insanity is such a strong word, and it's mostly an abstract idea. Where does insanity start, and how long is one not insane? Interesting questions. Am I normal, or are you? Maybe neither of us.
You see, that's something I think about a lot nowadays.
If you like, I can give you an appointment.
Oh, this is your chance, Sonny. Don't miss it. We're already here.
Marty, clock up.
To be honest, gentlemen, your visit is anything but a surprise. I could even say I was expecting it.
What an introduction.
Please forgive me. I have the bad habit of immediately getting into the middle of things. How very rude of me. My name is Dr. Sessuus Quetzalcoatl, but most call me Dr. Quetzal to keep it simple.
The name is Santino Featherland, and this is my partner, Martin McChicken, from
the Predatory Division of the Clawville Police Department. Your fame is one step ahead of you.
We're used to it.
Certainly.
We have some questions about one of your patients, if you don't mind. We'd like to talk to him, if that's possible.
Please be specific, Detective.
Look, Doctor, we're too tired to play cat and mouse. Not that snake and chicken sounds any better.
Very funny, I must say. Just what I expected from you two detectives.
We know you know it's about Albert Wessler, Ibn Wessler's secret twin. Ever since we've said his name, all the doors have miraculously opened. That's what we call a bullseye.
Well, yes. Why should I deny it? We're talking about a rather illustrious patient here, who's also a very particular medical case.
Now, that's much more interesting. So, are you willing to talk about him?
Because Albert, regrettably, has disappeared, and you are police detectives, I have no reason not to talk to you. Of course, I'm at your service, but you must understand I can't disclose information about my patients.
Not even if it's a matter of life and death?
Everything's a matter of life and death in here, Detective. This is a hospital, even if it's primarily for the mind, not the body.
Still, I'd like to give the impossible a try.
Please, Detective, just do your job, and I'll do mine.
How long was Albert a resident of the institution?
For quite some time. His first symptoms surfaced in his teens. Depression, panic attacks, and schizophrenia.
Was he brought here immediately after the first signs that something wasn't right?
You know, the biggest problem with an opinion on insanity is that animals are ashamed of it. That's the reason our institution stands out here in the middle of nowhere.
Because animals would rather hide what they're afraid to face.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
As far as I know, the Wessler family wasn't exceptionally wealthy.
Indeed, they were rather poor, but we offer our services gratis.
Then how do you sustain yourselves?
By the grace of the treasury of King Hector III, of course.
I wouldn't have guessed that.
My family and the royal dynasty had always been on good terms, Mr. Santino.
What kind of a place is this exactly? I assume
it used to be a mansion. Construction started during the occupation in 620.
How long have you been working here?
I've worked here for more than 30 years, but it's been in my family's possession for almost 150 years.
So if I count correctly, as soon as it went to the crown, it was seized by your family.
That's almost accurate, Mr. Featherland.
What a lovely inheritance. Tell me, Doctor, do you know Madame Zavas?
Just like everybody else, I've heard of her, but I never had the pleasure of meeting her in person. I'm sure she's an interesting case.
Oh, you can be sure about that. I'd gladly get you two together if I had the chance. A spare cell would suit her very much.
Is that so?
As it turns out, she likes small, narrow, secret places.
Oh, I see. What a coincidence.
Are you very busy?
I am.
Dr. Quetzal's a real mystery. But I can turn that to my advantage. I just need to focus on the strangest pieces of the puzzle. So when did Albert become a resident of your institute?
Albert and Hobart, or Ibn as you call him, arrived here almost exactly 4 years ago.
Could you describe that day more specifically?
It was not long after New Year's Eve, maybe the first week of the year, if I'm not mistaken. It was sleeting that day. Wind was banging incessantly on the windows. The power was going out for short periods of time.
What was your first impression of them?
I already knew the Wessler name. I knew who they were. Or at least I knew one of them, Hobart Wessler. He was famous. Gangster, moneylender, celebrity, lover.
And Albert?
He was new to me, an invisible gray ghost. The family had tried to keep his existence a secret.
Why?
Because they were ashamed of him, of course, Mr. Featherland. That's how it usually is.
What was your first impression of him?
He was silent, but observed everything that surrounded him. His eyes were constantly moving, never stopped for a second.
Was he afraid?
I wouldn't say so. It seemed to me that he wanted to move into our institution voluntarily. It looked as if he couldn't wait to be here, alone, locked up in silence and darkness.
Didn't you think of that as unusual?
Of course I did, but who am I to judge? It was rather special treatment.
Tell me, did Ibn Wessler threaten you in any way?
Oh, he didn't really need to make threats. It wasn't in question. Of course we would treat his brother.
You seem like a professional authority, Doctor. One who is above these power plays. Then why?
First of all, because he's a Wessler. You don't say no to a Wessler. My vocation may come first, but the will to live is even more critical. We reptiles are survivors. On the other hand, I considered Albert to be a very interesting case.
How did Albert relate to you?
Albert was immensely sophisticated and polite, so much so that his true emotions and thoughts could not be deciphered.
And that's why you thought of him as an exciting case.
That's right, Mr. Featherland. I see you're starting to get to know me in some way.
I'm just doing my job, Doctor.
You and me both.
Are you telling me Albert had multiple personalities?
We found out very quickly that there was no other reason for the cause of his seizures. He had a cold and calculating personality who sometimes, especially on stormy days, took the reins over their shared mind.
He had these seizures from the beginning.
Yes, Mr. Featherland, but they started to intensify after Albert left our institution for the first time.
He did what? Left the institution? More than once?
Oh, yes, Mr. Featherland. Albert left the institution on several occasions until the last time, when he failed to come back.
Quetzal's not only very observant, but he's addicted to details. I must focus on that if I want to get closer to the truth. Focus. Addicted to details. You're keeping some things from me, am I right?
I can only answer the questions you ask.
You just avoided giving an answer.
Such insight. Not bad for a rooster.
Thank you. So?
Albert was working on a painting commissioned by his brother, Hobart Wessler.
Was it of a woman named Natasha by any chance?
Exactly.
Did Albert tell you how he felt about the painting?
From the first moment he loved it. He was fascinated by it. But who could blame him? A little diversity, fresh air, a beautiful lady, and of course, on top of all that, he could finally do what he loved best. Paint.
Which could be a surprisingly effective therapy.
It could have been. Unfortunately, these excursions have greatly intensified his seizures. They have become more frequent and extreme.
So Albert left on many occasions to continue working on the painting.
Exactly, Mr. Featherland. Every time he came back, he was like a different person. But unfortunately, his seizures also multiplied and became more dangerous.
More dangerous.
Albert was hurting himself, and on one occasion he even tried to hurt me. It was unprecedented. It seemed his confined personality was taking over their shared mind entirely, piece by piece.
Do you think the painting caused it?
Not the painting, Mr. Featherland.
But its subject.
Exactly. He was obsessed, right until that fateful day when he returned to us for the last time.
What exactly happened that day, Doctor?
It wasn't Hobart who brought his brother back that day, but two of his gorillas. Not literally, I mean. And Albert was in a terrible, terrible state.
What happened to him?
I don't like to talk about that, Mr. Featherland.
It could be vital to the case, Dr. Quetzal. Don't back down.
Oh, you're right. There's no use turning back now. So, Albert's tongue was torn out, or cut off, I don't know exactly, and he was blinded in one eye, or rather, one of his eyes was missing entirely.
So you're saying Albert was brought back horribly mutilated?
Yes. And they didn't give any explanation as to what had happened. They simply told me it was some kind of accident.
Dr. Quetzal is cold and professional, but he's also very confused. Maybe it's cruel, but I must exploit his vulnerability if I want to learn everything about Albert. Focus, confused. Maybe it's not easy for you to talk about it, but did you examine his wounds thoroughly?
I'm not that kind of doctor, Mr. Featherland, but even I could determine his tongue was either cut out or bitten off, and his eye was gouged out. He also had several broken bones.
But there's no doubt it wasn't an accident.
I don't believe it was, Mr. Featherland.
I totally agree. Concentrate, Doctor. What do you think happened to Albert?
I'm sure it was Hobart. He ordered his men to mutilate poor Albert.
But why would he do that?
Maybe Albert saw something he could accidentally reveal.
To whom? The four walls? A couple of crazies? You?
To anyone, Mr. Featherland.
I don't think it's that simple, Doctor. But thank you for your honest opinion.
You're welcome, Detective.
What happened then? How did Albert disappear?
A few weeks later, Hobart came to visit Albert one more time. Albert had been in terrible condition by then. We even had to transfer him to another cell, a more safe one.
What did Hobart do during the visit?
He didn't do anything. He just sat and watched his brother, who was in an almost vegetative state by then.
Couldn't you manage to draw anything out of him? You or Hobart?
Nothing. For a while, he was trying to signal something. Perhaps he was too afraid. And most likely his fingers had been broken too, so he couldn't even write.
Do you think Hobart could have killed Albert?
It's horrible to say it, but I'm sure of it.
How did he disappear in the end? Did someone come for him?
That's what's most eerie about it all, Mr. Featherland. He simply disappeared. His door, which only I had a key for, was open.
Did anyone see anything?
No one. We interrogated the staff, even the patients. He simply vanished off the face of the wilderness. We don't know what happened to him.
Unfortunately, I have a hunch. Thank you, Doctor. You've been a great help.
Oh, well, I'm glad I could be of help. But please, I now must attend to my work.
We understand, Doctor. Thank you. Dr. Quetzal's a real... So when Albert, could you... What was your... And he... Because he was here, I would... Of course. What kind of special...
You know...
And,
yeah,
so you did...
Initially...
How did you see Albert? What...
He was... What I asked...
Are you telling me Albert...
He had... Yes. Oh, yeah.
When and why did Albert leave the institute?
It was a budget.
That was... Did he? Was it a...
Oh.
Yes, Doc. Did Albert tell you from where
It could...
So Albert... What?
It was...
What happened? So,
Yeah.
maybe it's not... But no, I told... Concentrate.
I'm but me
To-
to your...
What happened there?
A few... What
Couldn't be... How did that... Did it...
No.
Unfortunately, we understand. Is this cell like the...
I would rather...
That's quite shocking information.
I think you understand why we kept it a secret. If it wasn't for Mr. Wessler's demand, we'd never let any of our patients walk freely outside our institution.
Then the accident happened.
Accident? Ha! We didn't believe it, not for a second. After Albert came back to us, horribly mutilated, he was different.
Different how?
If someone got one of his eyes poked out and his tongue torn out, he'd be different, but not like this. Albert was a different person.
We believe you, Doctor. So, can we take a look at Albert's cell?
I'd rather call it his room. Mr. Wessler lived in exceptional circumstances.
Thanks to the Wessler name, I guess.
Yes. Well, we try to make all of our patients stay as comfortable as possible, but Albert certainly enjoyed special favoritism.
I hope you don't mind if we take a look around in there.
That's not going to bother anyone.
Well, that's, surprising.
I've never seen a cell like this before, that's for sure. I wouldn't mind living here myself.
It seems that being a Wessler gets you privileges.
And a healthy dose of danger.
Mostly that, yeah. Let's take a good look around. I'm sure we'll find some answers here. I can almost smell them.
Well, I smell paint, ink, plaster, some kind of oil, aging paper, slight smell of rat, and Great Expectations.
What the dickens?
Unmistakable. Yeah.
This place is bad for you, pal. But if you've already jump-started your beak holes, then sniff out the solution.
I'm on it, Boss Bird. You know, I don't think he had it so bad in here.
You mean apart from being separated from everyone you love in an ancient mansion filled with madmen?
You're right.
As always. The style. It's very familiar to me.
You've been lonely for far too long, huh?
Not funny, Marty.
It is, a little. No way! Is this some kind of puzzle?
I don't think so. But we could still find something important here. A pattern, a sign, anything. Scribbles, newspaper articles, study papers, poems, perfect chaos.
Just like the troubled mind of a troubled fella.
Yeah, but there's still a kind of order in it. It's just too intricate for you to comprehend.
If you say so, boss.
Identical twins. And looking at it, they may have easily loved the same woman. 2 men and 1 woman. Nothing good ever comes of that.
Well, I wouldn't say that exactly.
Of all the wild ones, Marty, please, stitch up your beak, okay?
Just use your imagination, old bird.
Look at that. A letter. Albert was madly in love with Natasha and would have done anything for her. I'm afraid he did exactly that. What do you make of this?
Apart from the fact the guy was totally insane? I don't know. What should I?
That maybe we've been chasing the wrong person all this time, Marty.
What do you mean?
Everything will be revealed soon.
Why do you have to be so melodramatic all of a sudden?
If I'm right, this'll flip the whole case upside down.
What's that, Sonny? A blurb from some horrible novel?
I just have to think things through before I come to any hasty conclusions, Marty.
Ugh, you're killing me. So, what now? Where to?
Back to Clawville, where we can finally put all the pieces together.
You're driving me crazy.
So, detectives, have you found what you were looking for?
I'm afraid we have, Doctor. And more.
I wouldn't dare to say I'm happy to hear it, but I'm glad to be of service to you.
Well, thanks, Doc.
I hope I don't offend you by saying I hope we're not going to meet anytime soon.
Not on account of either of our jobs, am I right?
Exactly.
What can you tell us about the woman in the photo we saw in Albert's room?
Do you mean Miss Natasha Katsenko? Well, yes. I don't know much about her, but everyone heard her name and her voice around here.
Did she ever visit this place?
Never. But if you ask me, Natasha probably didn't even know Albert was a resident of our institution.
And Albert, did he mention her often?
Constantly. It was obvious he had an affection for Miss Katsenko, but I wouldn't have thought for a moment he could escape because of her.
I wouldn't jump ahead, Doctor. Something else could be behind Albert's disappearance.
Do you think so? All the signs clearly indicate this.
Maybe they do, Doctor, but in my line of work, logic's not always the best advisor.
In 99% of cases.
Exactly. But this one typically belongs to the remaining 1%.
If you say so. Oh, I don't believe this. Those two again?
Take him out. My car won't last much longer.
Don't worry, Sonny. I was born to do this.
Concentrate, Marty, for the God's sake.
Can you drive like you're not a fucking lunatic?
Shut up and shoot, you big feather pillow. Are you blind or what? Where did you learn to shoot?
Whew. Well, that was close.
A little too close for my taste. And it only strengthens my belief. Wessler is desperate. He knows if we survive, he's done for.
Well, come on, what did you work out? Will you tell me already?
Sure. Let's put the picture together, piece by piece. Let's start from the beginning. So, we got a case. Natasha tried to show us the painting. And that painting would have shown us the way. And Albert Wessler. Albert painted Natasha, so he met her on more than one occasion. which made Albert fall in love with Natasha. And on a fateful night, he killed his bride so he could take his place in secret and win Natasha's heart.
So what happens now?
The inevitable, Marty. We're going to the Wessler Mansion to confront Ibn with the facts.
You mean Albert, right?
Yeah, exactly. And of course, Natasha.
Do you think she knew about it?
Something stinks, Marty. The whole case seems too intricate.
Too many coincidences, right?
Well, well, after 10 years, you did learn something, didn't you?
9.
You're right.
Huh.
What?
You just laughed, Sonny.
What? No, I snorted.
No, you laughed.
Ah, just leave it, Marty.
I'll be telling this to my grandchicks.
All right, pal, that's enough.
Okay. So, Albert fell madly in love with Natasha and decided to have her for himself.
And his best chance was to trade places with Ibn Wessler.
So that's why the torn-out tongue.
Yeah, Ibn couldn't squeal even if he wanted to.
What a diabolical plan.
More like insane.
But why the messages then? Why the threats? Albert got what he wanted. He could have got away with it.
I'm not a psychologist, Marty, but remember what the doctor told us. Albert has a seriously injured mind and a split personality. I think his two identities were at war with each other.
So the messages were written by one of his personalities, consumed by jealousy?
Something like that, Marty. But we can only learn the whole truth from him.
You're right. So, are we going or what?
We're going, Marty, to finally finish what we started.
Well, if there's anything you'd like to do before, do it now, boss. You won't have a chance later.
You're right, Marty. It's time to wrap everything up. Hey, Lewis. You weren't awake all night because of us, were you?
I've never been this excited, Sonny. Seriously, it is a great honor to be part of the team.
You, Lewis, you don't stutter anymore.
What?
Just now, you didn't stutter. Not even a little.
Oh, I must be exhausted. It happens sometimes.
And it's back.
So, thanks again, Lewis. You always get us out of trouble.
Come on, boys. Don't even mention it. It is me who is grateful to be part of an adventure of the Chicken Police.
Maybe the last one, too.
Hey, Sonny. Don't spoil his mood. He's so cute.
Pardon?
Nothing.
So, you're going now to confront Mr. Wessler?
We have no other choice, Lewis. We're gonna see it through to the end. We've already come this far.
You're brave, gentlemen. I'm honestly impressed.
Well, the rabbit's onto something.
This isn't about money. Not about courage or pride either. It's simply...
Stubbornness?
mostly, yeah.
Well, good luck, guys.
Thanks, Lewis. We could use some luck, that's for sure.
Well,
Thanks, Lewis.
Lewis became kinda part of the team in the end, didn't he?
You mean Leopold?
Ah, damn it. Did I mess that up again?
No, I'm just joking. You said it right this time.
Huh.
Do you remember that case
Which one?
when that demented wolf devoured the kids of a young goat mother, and in revenge, she cut open his stomach and filled it with rocks?
Do I remember? I'll never forget it. Hell, that was a slaughterhouse. As far as I know, she even took the remains of the kids with her. But
This was that shop. The goat mother was running it. They found the dead wolf in here.
this? This one exactly? Good gods.
Yeah, before it was closed down, when there was still some life here. Not even that now, just the void.
Yeah, spooky place, that's for sure.
Still, I love to live here.
Sonny, you're creepy. I see we're ready.
You'll need a shotgun for this kind of deal, Marty. Maybe even that won't be enough.
Nothing to fear while Bertha's here. Even less because you're here too with Mr. Sinclair, of course.
Should I cry?
That would be nice for a change. Ah, Her Majesty.
My drumstick.
Be glad you're alive. It's a little...
It can pierce.
You know,
Rest assured.
it's...
It can...
You know,
Rest...
if we survive...
I'd rather... I was joking.
Now you're... You think you'll need...
I never...
What a pun.
It's more like...
And?
No, Marty.
This fog's almost impenetrable.
Strange, but somehow this time I feel it's a good omen.
Really?
I don't know. It's like...
Oh, you're not getting ready to die, are you, old man?
Why, haven't I told you yet?
You're not funny.
I never thought I'd ever look at this.
Life's weird, isn't it? I didn't think that after what I did...
You mean when you shot me?
You know I had my...
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Then let's leave it that way.
Hey, I apologize.
That's okay, Marty.
I'll remember what you've just said.
Yeah? Well, don't try to take...
Who, me? What do you... Did you forget anything, Sonny?
No, I just thought I'd take a look.
You becoming sentimental? Oh, that's cute.
Should I say it?
I know, Sonny. I can still get out.
But you won't.
On the beak.
Thanks, pal.
Forget about it. I'd be bored to death otherwise. You know, pulling the trigger was the toughest decision of my life.
You mean when you shot me?
Yeah.
But it wasn't hard, because you thought you'd kill me.
Not at all, Sonny. I knew you'd survive. I wanted it to be a permanent injury and hurt like clucking hell. But I knew that everything would change from then on.
That something was gonna break between us?
Yeah. And that I was never gonna be the same either. With that shot, I also gunned down who I was, you know?
It really did hurt like hell.
I know.
I almost bled to death.
Almost was the goal.
And? Did you manage to forgive me since then?
Well, what hurt me wasn't what you did. I mean, of course it did, but what hurt the most was you not trusting me. That you didn't believe me.
Not until you pulled the trigger. At that moment, I knew you were right. Ah, Cluck.
Yeah, Cluck. All right, enough sentimental crap. We have an insane rat waiting to be put behind bars, and a woman you gotta get.
What?
Come on, Sonny. Even a blind bat can see it.
Oh, well. Cluck again.
Yep. Ah, you know, Sonny, few places are as cozy as the Hop Dog at dawn.
You have a point.
The silence, the fog, The sunshine slowly devouring the sleeping city.
The smell.
Yeah, the Cobbler District has its own distinctive aroma, that's for sure. But wait, do you smell that?
Ah, it seems Zip is ready with the first batch of coffee.
That's waiting only for us, my friend. Well, he's out. He's brave indeed, or an idiot.
They're often the same, Marty, and you should know. Hello, Zip. I see they kicked you out.
You know, Sonny. They told me I could stay in there for 48 hours if I wanted.
Well, maybe you should have done that.
Shit, I had enough. Fuck it. You understand? When you interrogated me, you opened my eyes. I don't give a shit about him, about Wessler and his henchmen. Let them come if they want. It's not gonna be easy for them. You can be sure of that.
That's the Zip we know and love.
Thanks, Marty. So, why you here?
One last coffee before the end.
Are you going to get him?
We don't have a choice, Zip. We're grabbing the rat by the tail. No screwing around. No playing it nice.
Ah, I see Ibben's really got to you.
Just Sonny. I'm like this all the time.
Yeah, that's true. And what do you expect will happen when you get there?
They'll either let us in, or we'll blow open the doors and go in guns blazing. How hard can it be?
Well, I'm not sure you know what you're up against, boys, but it's your funeral. I'm just glad I got to know the legendary chicken police.
Hey, don't write us off yet.
I'm just getting ready for all possibilities, Marty. Hey, chicken coppers,
Yeah, Zip?
take care of your feathers for me, okay?
Will do, Zip.
Don't worry. I'll protect this smelly old bird.
All in all, thanks, Zip. You've been a great help.
Thank you too, boys. You really opened my eyes. If I see Wessler again or any of his goons, I'm gonna plug them right there.
I'm not sure that's what we're suggesting.
One more coffee, boys?
Thanks, Zip. Maybe next time.
If there is a next time.
One more coffee?
Thanks.
If there is... So, we're looking for more evidence?
No, I was just thinking we could take another look. You know, just in case.
Okay, sure. But
Don't even ask, Marty.
you're really becoming sentimental.
One more word and I swear I'm...
Yep, I'm gonna shut it. You don't want to go in there just like that. It's a closed crime scene.
I hope you're just messing with me, Marty.
Of course I'm messing with you. Let's get inside there and see how much the boys have messed up the place. You know, Sonny, when we entered the room and saw the girl,
Deborah.
yeah, her body, I called you every name in the book inside my head. I just had enough, you know? I wanted to quit.
What kept you with me? Was it just curiosity?
No. I just wanted to see your downfall, boss. I wanted to be there when you met your end, get humiliated or even shot.
Wow. Well, thanks for your honesty, Marty.
But then everything changed on the ship.
On the ship? Why there?
I don't know. Being tied up with you, waiting for certain death. I know I lashed out at you, but in truth, I felt there was no place I'd rather be. It was my place on that fucking burning ship with you, even if we both died there. Know what I mean?
I think I do, Marty. I think I do.
So, I guess there's nowhere to go but forward, huh?
Nothing left to do but kill a rat. As the chicken police.
For the last time?
For the last clucking time, partner.
Swear?
I swear.
All right. Let's hit the road. Well, if we have anything else to ask the old beaver, this is the last chance.
Hey, don't steal my style.
Just learning from the best.
Let me give you some advice. Don't. Hey, old man. Sun's not even up yet, and you're already open?
You know what's my secret, sonny boy?
What?
I never close.
That clever.
How can I help you, lads? I see you're going somewhere.
Well, Sonny's going to die. I'm just wrapping up a delicate case.
So, you'll be off to the Westler residency then?
You're sharp, old beaver.
Well, me dear lads, I'm glad I got to know you.
Hey, don't you start too.
I'm just kidding.
Got any good advice?
I always have some for you, lads. Don't get shot, for example.
That's very wise advice. Why haven't you told us before? Could have saved Sonny some painful memories.
If you carry on like that, Marty, you too can learn how it feels.
You too.
Does the name Albert mean anything to you?
I know multiple Alberts, Sonny. Which one do you mean?
Albert Wessler.
I see you're in a funny mood, sonny boy.
I'm not joking, Mullen, but I'm surprised there's something I know and you don't.
And who is this Albert, anyway? Ibn Wessler's hidden son, maybe?
Even better, my friend. His secret twin brother.
Oh, you've walked into trouble there.
I was hoping you could tell me something useful about him.
I can, sonny boy. Avoid him. Avoid the whole Wessler family. Those who happen upon secrets that deep sink without a trace.
Well, I used to be a professional swimmer. Didn't you know?
No, I didn't.
I lied. What do you know about that asylum? What's it called?
Since there's only one of those around Clawville, I know which one you mean, sonny. It's an ancient mansion, easily around 100 years old for sure. Or more. But what do you want to know about it anyway?
We actually just got out of there.
That explains everything.
Seriously, what do you know about it?
The place is self-sufficient in theory, but in reality, the Crown maintains it. No one knows the exact reason why, but according to gossip, they used to keep someone in there. Someone who was either part of the royal family or just very close to the fire. But who knows? Maybe it's just a legend.
Well, they say we're legends too, and we're standing right in front of you. Am I right?
What can I say then? This whole city is full of legends.
This Albert, he had to paint a picture of Natasha at his brother's request.
Let me guess. He fell in love with her.
Yeah, classic, huh? Then he killed his brother and took his place.
Yeah, well, that's a classic too. So, you're telling me who goes by Ibn Wessler is not really Ibn Wessler?
Exactly. He's Albert, a dangerous lunatic with multiple personality disorder.
Ha ha, lads! I guess that Miss Marble's going to write another one of those novels about this.
You mean Meredith? Oh, that's just what we need.
Once you sold your soul, it's too late to cry about it, sonny boy.
That's what I keep telling him.
Do you know Dr. Quetzal?
Do you mean Professor Quetzalcoatlus? Yeah, now you laugh at this, but we went to university together.
You did what?
Do I not look the type to you?
No, well, I didn't mean that. I just didn't know you went to university.
I studied psychology, Sonny, only I forgot to graduate. That's when my father died.
So that's why you know the animals so well.
No, I know them well because I have a newspaper stand and I talk to hundreds of animals each day. And I listen to the everyday problems of almost all of them. There's no better lesson in animal studies.
You surprise me every time, old beaver. And what do you know about him? Can he be trusted?
You're afraid he screwed you? He looks like a terribly dishonest snake, but don't let your prejudices overshadow what your wattle tells you. Quetzal's one of the kindest-hearted and most honest animals I've ever known.
That's good to know, Uncle Mullen. Or rather, Professor Mullen.
Hey, 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 don't get cocky with me, little chickie.
What do you know about the Wessler Mansion, Uncle Mullen?
That if you're about to go there, bring a tank with you, or two.
Dangerous, you mean?
Dangerous? It's a fortress, so it has giant walls, watchtowers, and of course, Wessler's hired thugs are waiting for you there.
Yeah, sounds great.
It's a beautiful place, I must admit. At least you'll kick the bucket with mouths hanging open in wonder.
That's something.
Good attitude, my lad. Keep it.
Do you have any fresh information for us, Uncle Mullen?
Of course. Still crisp and warm, like a fresh newspaper. Ask away.
You didn't have the chance to tell me what happened to your brother.
He left Clawville, and I haven't talked to him since.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But I
Was it him?
He wrote the letter, that's...
Have you tried to find him?
He'll find me if he wants to, son.
But he's still...
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry for...
I know, son.
You know, you've...
Thanks, Bob.
Just, no hard feelings?
What can I say, boys? I have a big, soft heart.
You sure do, Ursula.
Would you like a nice hot cup of tea?
No, thanks. We just came to say goodbye.
Why? You going somewhere? Traveling?
No, we're just visiting a nice place in the city.
Sonny's gonna die.
Shut up, Morty.
So it's a case. Well, be careful, boys. And I'm sorry I snapped at you the last time.
You don't need to say that, Ursula. We deserved it.
You're a good boy, Sonny. And Marty's a downright saint.
Oh, come on, Ursula. Stop that.
Hey, Boobo.
Hello, old man.
Is he asleep?
But his eyes are open.
Boobo!
Hey, what is it? I wasn't sleeping.
You were something.
What the hell are you doing here, chickens?
Sonny wanted to say hi before he suffers an unpleasant death of lead poisoning later tonight.
Would you shut the clock up, Marty? You're not funny.
I am a little bit.
You're going to Wessler's, huh?
Bingo. We're gonna put an end to this madness.
Ooh. Or you're stirring up an even bigger madness, am I right?
Well, that's always a possibility.
Get yourself killed for all I care, but don't come here covered in blood, because I'm not gonna open the door for you, I swear.
Oh, thanks for the support, old fart.
Don't mention it, you old gizzard.
How is the old owl?
He's old and grumpy.
Wait a minute. Isn't he supposed to sleep now?
He?
Even now?
Yes.
I gotta see that.
Take care of yourselves.
Will do, Auntie Urs.
Hey, don't be suck. Take care.
Will do.
Hey.
Can I give you...
Of course, Boobo.
Take care of the old rooster.
That's all.
Albert was madly in love with Natasha and would have... Identical twins. The phone's dead. Why don't you hire a cook?
Don't you mean that Marty guy? I heard horrible things about him. Well, he's a...
Hits first?
Yeah.
Hey!
We know.
Yeah, blow me.
I've also forgiven you, you know.
I don't remember asking for it.
I'm not mad anymore.
Blow me, Sonny. You always have to have the last word?
Of course not. I've also forgiven. I'm not blow. Of course not. A 119 days left.
You know.
It's not gonna.
Why don't you take Natasha?
Huh.
Come on, Sonny.
Albert was madly in love. Come to death. It's a piece of a painting. Albert was.
I can't even recognize.
Like a raving lunatic.
What was the last book you?
Something.
Wow.
No.
Oh. We've done
more than.
Well, you see? Well,
thanks, Lewis.
Look, Sonny, I think
I'm still thinking about it, Marty.
Do you think the asylum was in on it?
You know that.
He seemed like.
Yeah.
Are you?
Good.
I just realized. Ibn at the Tsar Club.
Yes, Marty. Albert's been Ibn for a long time now. Do you remember what Natasha said about him?
That he's been acting strange recently?
Exactly. Like he's not himself anymore.
It was almost hitting us in the face, huh?
Don't blame yourself, Marty. We couldn't have figured that out just by ourselves. The whole story's too twisted for that.
Well, it's how we make our living, Sonny. And I'm sure we'll have plenty more twisted cases to come.
Who knows, Marty? It's not up to us. It's mostly not up to us, in fact.
Yeah, right. So, what's the plan? We shove the letter in our theory in his face and see what happens?
Something like that, Marty. I think our presence will be enough for the truth to come out.
I really hope you're right, Boss Bird.
We have no other choice. So I hope so, too.
Do you think it's a love triangle? I mean, could Natasha love Albert as well?
Good question, Marty. But I don't think so. When I first spoke to Natasha, she told me she loved Ibn in her own way.
In her own way, huh? And could she love two rats in her own way?
Maybe. Maybe she even suspected the truth, but didn't dare admit it, even to herself.
So, what do you think, now that it's clearer?
I don't know, Marty, but I believe Natasha didn't mean to be bad. Not intentionally, at least.
I'm not as sure of that as you are, boss. But we'll find that out pretty soon, I guess.
I think Natasha was very much aware that wherever she goes, disaster follows her. But it's not her fault, and she can't do anything about it. There are people like that.
Really? You don't say. Someone remarkably similar came to mind right now.
You mean me, right?
Who can even read minds?
Maybe you're right, Marty. Maybe you're right.
Okay, so when you feel we can leave, just point.
Thanks, partner. I'll do that.
One more coffee, boy?
Thanks.
If there isn't.
The sun was shining, and all the ducks were in a row. I felt ready. The pieces of the grand puzzle were laid out on the table. I just needed to piece them all together. A revealing glance or a careless word, and I'd have the answer. I knew we were in the right place. I knew it was nearly over. Was Natasha really just a victim? Or did she know everything? Was she controlling the puppets from behind the curtain? Well, if you don't know where to go, go straight ahead. What could possibly go wrong? Here I am, Natasha. I hope you're waiting for me.
Furry gods. I knew he was rich, but wow.
Half the city is in his hands, Marty, and half the Council of 12.
I think we'll catch a big fish today.
Don't count your chickens. I'm sure Wessler's expecting us, and Natasha too, I hope.
You hope?
If I'm right, she could be our only chance of survival.
Lovely prospects, huh?
I've had worse.
Really? What the hell is it? Water tower? Turret? A frickin' lighthouse?
I think it's a monument to an enormous ego, Marty.
Well, anyone who builds a tower this big must be trying to compensate for something.
Or he just has too much dough.
Quite the steed, isn't it?
Seems nowadays organized crime pays well in Clawville.
Are you surprised? The chicken police retired.
Well, they say the team's back together again.
Nah, that's impossible.
Oh yeah, it's true.
Is this a mansion? Or a grand palace?
Or a small city?
Well, if it comes to hide and seek, old Wessler will have an advantage.
A serious advantage.
Oh, this place has its own greenhouse. What do you think's inside?
100% humidity and unbearable heat.
Oh, not like that. Could they be growing rarities in there?
Or maybe some chicken-eating giant flower monsters.
What? Oh, you just made that up, right? Nah, I'm sure there's no such thing. Huh, one of Wessler's ancestors, maybe.
Wessler's ancestors were poor cobblers. More likely, this represents what he thinks of himself.
I wonder how chivalry is compatible with organized crime.
Ibn was planning to leave the underworld.
When his twin brother tore out his tongue, poked out his eye, killed him, and took his place?
Yeah.
Hey, not so fast, chickens. Please excuse my partner. We didn't mean to be rude, it's just his terrible habits, as you may already know.
Ah, look what the cat dragged in.
Funny, I don't recognize them.
Well, maybe if they had some guns with them? Tommy guns?
Oh yeah, now I remember. The two suckers in the luxury van you shot to pieces. Twice.
Exactly.
What are you doing here, chickens? Would you like us to finish what we started?
We'd love to have fun with you boys, but we need to talk to your boss. And while we're at it, the lady of the house is also expecting us.
Is that so?
Yeah, that's so horny.
In that case, I guess there's no reason for us to waste your precious time. Isn't that right, Gabriel?
Get the hell out of our sights while there are still feathers on your skin, chickens.
Easy, pal. We're not even here anymore. Until next time, boys.
Do you sense that, Sonny?
I do sense something. A case of hyper-stupidity.
and utter incompetence.
You're right.
Don't shit with me, you foul! It won't work well for you.
I'm afraid my partner speaks the truth, gentlemen.
Such tall and handsome creatures, aren't they, partner?
Sure are, partner. Do you sense that? And you... That's a sure...
This must lead to Wessler and Natasha's suite.
Let's get the big guns out and kick the door down.
No need for that, Marty. We'll wait until they invite us in, like real gentlemen. Then maybe we'll need the guns. But I hope it won't come to that.
Oh, my trigger finger's itching, Sonny. Someone's gotta pay.
Relax, Marty. Someone is gonna pay. Tonight.
Yeah, just don't let it be us. This place is incredible, but it kinda gives me the creeps.
Because you know.
With Natasha, too?
I haven't decided yet.
It's like the vegetation's trying to suffocate these beautiful walls.
Maybe it will. Maybe in 100 years, nothing will be here but plants. An endless, planet-sized jungle.
That's quite a dark thought.
Yeah, it is.
Ah, what a pleasant surprise. Hello, Olivia. Sweetie.
Get lost.
What did you say, ma'am?
Turn around and get the hell out of here now, if you want to make it out with feathers intact.
Come on, Olivia. Don't worry about us. We know what we're doing.
Martin!
Huh?
Don't you get it? You have to get out of here or you'll be in danger, and also her.
Do you mean Natasha? Please calm down, miss. We have to talk to Mr. Wessler and Miss Katsenko.
You really don't understand, do you?
What do they not understand, Olivia? So?
I was trying to tell the detectives that Mr. Wessler's very tired and doesn't welcome guests this early. He gets rather irate if he's being disturbed at this hour.
I'm sure Mr. Featherland and Mr. McChicken can wait here while Ibn refreshes himself. I'll entertain them until then.
Thank you, Miss, Katsenko.
Please, Sonny. I thought we've already discussed this. Call me Natasha.
Please, Natasha, can we talk to you in private?
Martin?
It's all right, Olivia. These gentlemen are my friends.
Yes, Miss Katsenko. I tried to warn you.
Thanks, Olivia?
I tried to...
Thanks?
The truth is, Ibn isn't really in a good shape today, gentlemen. He's rather furious. Are you sure this can't wait?
You commissioned us, Natasha, and we barely escaped with our combs intact.
So you know who left the threats?
Oh, we know much more than that, Natasha. We even know where you used to work. We talked to Madame Zavas.
Wild gods!
Why didn't you tell us?
Do you think it's easy for a woman to talk about such things, that she used to be an escort?
Along with Molly?
So you know.
Yeah, I know, Natasha. I also know all of this was a trap.
Believe me, I tried to handle things the least painfully I could. You weren't even supposed to know.
A lot shouldn't have happened. Poor Deborah shouldn't have had to die.
Dear sweet Deborah.
Cold, stiff Deborah.
Please don't say that.
A price worth paying?
You cannot think I had anything to do with that. You just cannot.
I don't know, Natasha.
Please, Sonny, tell me, what is going on?
You have to know, right?
Please.
Excuse me for making you wait, detectives.
I'm having a rough morning after a long night.
Is that so? Our night was also kinda long.
To put it mildly.
I was just telling the gentlemen that you were exhausted, my dear, and they should come back another time. I'll escort them out.
Oh, honey, no need for that. My door's always open to the legendary chicken police. Please, come on in, guys. Let's talk in my room.
Then this way, please.
You just stay here, my darling. I'm sure our conversation will bore you to death. Please, go and refresh yourself, or tell Olivia to go make some coffee.
Yes, dear. Whatever you like.
Please, follow me, gents.
Lead on, Wessler. So long, sweetheart.
Goodbye.
I tried to...
Thanks?
Would you like a drink? This is a rather rare brandy. It lifts the spirits, if I may be so, poetic.
Really? Tempting, but I need to keep a clear head, Mr. Wessler.
Yeah, I've heard you don't despise a good vintage.
And I've heard you don't despise murder, Wessler. By the way, you've heard right. But everything has its place and time. Drinks, guns, dead bodies, and the truth.
Yeah, I see you're in a poetic mood as well.
More like prophetic.
And that's not a good sign.
Yeah? Are you trying to intimidate me?
No, that's not how we do business. We're gentlemen.
I really hope so.
Do you keep a revolver in your bedroom?
Yeah, a bad habit. One who has a lot to lose has a lot to fear.
I agree. Impressive bed. Looks cozy.
Sure is better than a cell.
That's right, Marty.
I'm not sure I understand, gentlemen.
We'll see about that.
This painting.
It's beautiful and rather provocative. Almost makes my comb stand up.
I'm not surprised.
But the corner is missing.
You're right, Sonny. You're quite the observer.
Well, yeah, this painting's unfortunately damaged. I don't know where the missing piece could be.
You don't know? Well, if you're interested, we know exactly where it is.
Really?
Really. It's here with us.
An insignificant little piece, isn't it? But there's an exciting cat scratch on it.
More like a rat scratch, because it's a monogram.
A.W.
That's...
Albert Wessler. He's a great painter. I don't know if you've heard of him.
Enough! Out with it already. What are you trying to say? I have no time for your childish charades.
Easy, Wessler. We'll get to that in a bit. It's a piece of a painting, judging by... This estate is rather impressive, Mr. Wessler.
Well, thank you.
I suppose it took years and years of cumbersome work to build it.
Yeah. As you say, Mr. Featherland, I'm rather proud of it.
You should be. Whoever built this place has a reason to be proud of himself.
Are you trying to say something, sir?
No, just thinking aloud.
So, what do you want to know? I've heard you've been through a rather eventful few days.
Oh, you have rather good informants.
Yeah, that's true. I should tell you, I see and hear everything that happens in the city. And you are exceptionally resilient. No offense.
None taken. But tell me, are we gonna flatter each other for a long time, or are we finally done with the courting?
Straight to the point. I like it. Yeah, so let's continue like that, shall we? What do you want? How dare you intrude upon me in my own house?
Oh, forgive us. Our moral compass has been confused a little bit after someone tried to kill us several times in the last 48 hours. With fire, with machine guns. I could go on.
And while we're at it, you could answer some of our questions. If you've nothing to hide, you have nothing to fear.
And then we'll just leave you alone.
All right. I'll go along with your childish little game. I would have had a long and tedious day ahead of me anyway. So, can we start?
With pleasure, Mr. Wessler. I have no idea what she sees in you, but Natasha's been seriously worried about you.
Yeah, she, really worries more than usual, but it's understandable. Those disgusting messages.
Disgusting, all right. Do you know why that word exactly? Why did they write that specific word everywhere?
Since you've been to the Nile, I guess you know the answer to your question.
Didn't it bother you, Wessler? What Natasha used to do? Surely it must have upset you.
Why? Did it upset you when you discovered your wife did the same thing?
What did you just say?
What did you think, chicken? That I didn't know? Yeah, don't make me laugh. I know about everyone who ever set foot in that place. I can even tell you who Molly's regulars were, if you're interested.
You son of a bitch.
Sonny, don't.
Yes, detective?
Not yet.
You're right, Marty. It's not worth it.
You're funny, you know that?
About the painting.
Yeah. My brother Albert made it. He's a great talent, but, he's a rather troubled individual.
Such self-criticism.
What did you say?
My partner means that you and your brother are very much alike. Identical twins, if I'm not mistaken.
Indeed. But, what does that have to do with the painting?
We'll get to that. Don't worry, Mr. Wessler. So Albert made the painting at your request, is that right? And the one that's in Natasha's room in the Tsar, too.
Yeah, exactly. Is that a crime?
No, it's not a crime in itself. This picture, it's rather strange, you know?
Why do you think so? It's just me, Natasha, and my brother.
The photo doesn't tell much in itself, yes. But if you already have the right information, suddenly it starts to talk.
Really?
He fell in love with her, didn't he?
Who'd you mean?
Albert, of course. He fell in love with Natasha. All those sessions while he was painting the pictures. Were you there every time?
You mean, me?
You.
No, I mean, while Albert was painting, yeah, but I wasn't there all the time. Albert was there, all along.
And do you think he could have fallen in love with Natasha? That's why he escaped? What do you think happened to him? Who tore out his tongue?
Eh, I have no idea.
Did Natasha know about what happened to your brother?
No, of course not.
Do you love beautiful things, Wessler?
Why do you ask that? Yeah, of course.
You were afraid of losing her, weren't you? To him.
Stop. Enough. If you want to ask something, ask clearly. Don't play with me. You understand?
We're just doing our job.
Then do it clearly. And quickly. Yeah, I'm really starting to lose my patience.
We visited Albert's cell and found something he seems to have forgotten to take with him in his great hurry.
That's a big mistake.
A classic, even.
What the hell are you babbling about?
This is Albert Wessler's love letter to Natasha.
More like a confession.
in which he tells her he's capable of doing anything for her, even the most horrible things.
Yeah, this letter doesn't prove anything at all. Albert is mad, insane. He's not normal. No one would believe his word, don't you understand?
But they believe yours, right? Because you're not Albert Wessler. You're Hobart Ibn Wessler, aren't you? How good it feels to be in his skin.
How dare you?
Just tell him, Sonny. I'm getting tired of this.
You're just a cheap fake, Albert. You couldn't follow in your brother's footsteps even if you wanted to. No matter how hard you tried, you couldn't get Natasha either. Am I right?
What? What did you just say?
She hates you, doesn't she? She doesn't know. She doesn't understand why. But she hates you. It's instinctive.
Yeah, what do you know? What could you possibly know about suffering and loneliness and the darkness? What could you know about hate, huh?
Albert is an imposter. He's not who he says he is, and might not even know who he really is. I have to concentrate on this first, to soften him up, and to avoid us being shot in the gizzard, of course. What were you thinking, Albert? How long did you think you could keep it up?
Until the end of my life, if needs. Yeah, I cared about nothing except for her to love me. Not for who Ibn was, but for who I am.
Why did you think that would happen? Everybody noticed the change.
Yeah, I knew it would be hard, Santino. But I also knew animals see what they want to see. I didn't have to behave like Ibn. They only had to believe I'm him.
Why did you decide to take your brother's place?
Yeah, as you're curious, from the moment I laid eyes on Natasha for the first time. But I had to convince myself that this was the only way.
You've never talked about your feelings for Natasha with your brother, am I right?
Are you insane? Yeah, Ibn would have had me killed immediately. And no one would ever know.
So instead, you've done the same thing, haven't you? What a comfortable excuse.
Comfortable? Do you think all of this was just some kind of cruel game for me? I had to destroy the person I loved and respected the most.
Cry me a river.
Yeah, you know, there's only a thin, fragile membrane between love and hate. If anything touches it, it tears immediately. You felt like this before, haven't you? Yeah, I can see it in your eyes.
You can analyze me until the sun goes down, Wessler, but you won't get far with that.
Yeah, evasive answer. So I'm right.
Did you ever believe that you were Ibn Wessler?
Did I ever believe? I still do. I believed it all along. Don't you get it? I am Ibn Wessler.
And also, Albert Wessler.
I see you're starting to understand.
So you feel you're two people at the same time, even now?
Does it sound crazy? Maybe it is. But Ibn lives inside me. Sometimes he's even stronger than Albert ever was.
Do you think you can avoid the gas chamber with this, Albert?
I don't have to avoid anything, Sonny. You and your friend, will never leave this place. It's better if you start getting used to the thought.
You're not the cold-blooded killer you'd like to think you are.
Yeah, do you think so? Try me, detective.
That was your plan. Take his place and live happily ever after.
Why? Isn't it good enough of a plan, Mr. Featherland? It was perfect, even in its imperfection.
Which is?
Ibn's ghost.
His what?
Please don't take it literally, Mr. Chicken. I'm not talking about spirits.
When Ibn died, I didn't just take his place, but also his role. He himself, his essence, if you will. Yeah, though I guess that's too much for you to understand.
So you mean Ibn's here with us, even now?
He was here all along. Don't you get it? I am Hobart Ibn Wessler.
I must get serious, because looking at the gun in Wessler's trembling hand, I'm afraid I don't have much time. Albert is a cruel psychopath, but maybe I can turn that cruelty against him. When was the moment you decided to kill him, Albert?
When I drew the last stroke on that fatal painting, Mr. Featherland. When I glanced at it for the last time, and then at Natasha, who was shivering under the weight of my gaze.
You simply fell in love with her? End of story?
Not in the slightest, Mr. Featherland. Love is, just chemistry. What I felt was more than that.
Everybody thinks that, Albert. But we all feel the same. We're just fools.
No, Mr. Featherland. Not at all. At that moment, I knew what I was gonna do. I knew that the world was coming to an end if I didn't do it. It implodes on itself and ceases to exist. I couldn't let that happen. I couldn't.
Let him have her, right? You simply wanted her for yourself.
I wanted her for ourselves, Sonny. I was him by then. He just didn't know it yet.
Do you think you can explain everything with your insanity?
Don't be a fool, Sonny. Insanity is just a temporary state. Just a stop on the way to enlightenment.
So you admit you're insane. That's surprising for your kind.
Of course I'm not insane.
Ah, well, here we are.
Albert was insane. He lost all connections to reality. But I saved him.
You mean you're Ibn?
Both of us, Mr. Featherland.
Okay. I almost understand everything now.
Don't mock me, Mr. Featherland. You're still at the wrong end of the gun, you remember?
It would be hard to forget. When did you decide that we too have to die?
Can I be honest? I didn't want to hurt you, even after what you've done at the club, after interrogating Natasha and me so cruelly. I didn't care. You just saw what's on the outside, just scratching the surface.
Until we found Deborah.
I didn't even know about you finding her until the phone call from the Nile. Then it all became clear. I understood I underestimated you. I had to remedy that mistake before it was too late.
You remove anyone if they happen to cross your path, don't you? Without batting an eye.
Ibn had always been like that. Albert the opposite, so don't think I wasn't struggling, but, eventually, yeah. Courage won, every time.
You mean fear?
Yeah. What do you know about these concepts, Detective? You spent your life chasing petty nobodies until you turned into one of them.
I may be a nobody, Mr. Wessler, but at least I know who and what I am. I'm Santino Featherland. Tell me, can you still tell who you really are? Albert, Ibn, both of them? Neither.
Enough, Santino. Enough games. Ask you.
I'm very close to breaking him, but if I'm too hard on him, I could quickly be signing my death warrant. It's time to dig a little bit deeper and uncover Wessler's wounds. Natasha was kind to you, right? Too kind.
Natasha was, simply amazing, gentle, kind, lively, but still so, distant.
You're telling me.
It's like she was from another world. A world where everything's full of charm and grace and everything's fragile and delicate. Do you understand?
I think I do, yes.
I knew Albert's touch would harm her. Albert is rough. Albert can't keep such a delicate thing in his arms.
That's why you had to become Ibn, am I right?
I didn't take Ibn's place, Mr. Featherland. I became one with him, can't you see? This is the only way I could comprehend and accept the miracle that was Natasha.
Was?
I think I've corrupted her. She's not that gentle and pure creature I painted on the canvas anymore. I ruined her. She became rotten under my hands.
Maybe it's not too late, Albert. Tell her the truth and end this.
No. You can't understand this. She can't either. I killed Ibn, but he also killed me, can't you see? We're nothing without each other.
You can't be two people at the same time, Albert. Nobody can bear the weight of the sins of two souls.
Ibn loved her. I admired her. Ibn was crazy about her. I've been crazy for a long time. Ibn idolized her, and I hated her. And if there's anything more blind, more devoted, more extreme, and more true than love, it could only be hate, Mr. Featherland. It's an endlessly exciting, thrilling, and warm feeling. And infinitely red. Just like love.
You know you're not going to be able to go through with it, right? That you won't be able to carry the weight. But you still did it. Why?
Yeah, if I didn't kill him and become one with him, Albert would have died, Mr. Featherland.
And the threats? Which one of you was that? Albert or Ibn? Who wrote them? And which one of you killed Deborah?
In my world, Ibn and I are inseparable. Just like love and hate are one and the same. And I hate Natasha so much that I could destroy myself along with her, just so she would die with me. Are you familiar with this feeling, Mr. Featherland?
More than life itself.
You see? We're not so different after all.
You and I have nothing in common, Wessler. You know why?
Why, Mr. Featherland?
Because if I were in your shoes, I would have pulled the trigger a long time ago.
Goodbye, Sonny.
So long, Albert. So, you heard everything?
I heard everything.
I'm sorry you had to find out like this.
And thank you. If it weren't for you...
Yes, both of you would be dead, I know. But believe me, I still thought carefully before firing.
About who to target?
You know, I truly loved Ibn.
But this man wasn't him. You felt it, didn't you?
Maybe I even knew it. I don't know. But I still can't believe it.
It won't be easy to process for any of us.
I'm sorry I dragged you into this. And regarding Molly...
The cops. But how? How do they know?
I have no idea, Marty.
Do not look at me. I did not call them.
Olivia?
Don't worry, Natasha. They won't lay a finger on you. I promise.
Please, Sonny. You don't need to worry about me.
I don't want to be rude, Sonny, but I'm more worried about us than her. Hello, boss.
Hello, boys.
Before you say anything, we can explain.
No need for that, Santino. Monica already told me everything.
Monica?
Hey, boys. What were you thinking? That I would just let you get killed without saying goodbye?
Thanks, Mon. Should we say we owe you one?
You know already, boys. Shoes are my weakness.
Hey, mine too.
Of all that's furry, we don't want to hear that. And boys...
yes, boss?
Don't believe you'll get away with it so easily. I want a report on my desk from both of you with all the details. Am I clear?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. It'll all make sense, believe us. Right after I figure out myself what the hell just happened.
What Marty's trying to tell you is that we had good reason to investigate outside the law. But we're sorry.
What happened to you, Sonny? You're sorry? Did you hit your head?
Why does everybody keep asking that?
Why indeed?
So can we go now, boss? Without getting handcuffed?
Don't give me ideas, Santino.
Thanks, boss.
What? Are you waiting for me to change my mind?
No, sir.
Then stop pecking around here.
Yes, sir.
Santino, you're doing that on purpose?
No, sir. Never, sir.
Then get the fuck out of here. Santino, you're doing that on purpose?
No, sir. Never, sir.
Then get the fuck out of here.
You? What are you doing here?
I was just driving around. You know.
Trying to feed your grandpa? So? Was it a case? Were you, maybe investigating us?
What can I say, Sonny? Am I busted?
Did someone hire you to follow us?
I just had to keep an eye on you and not get involved. That's all. I admit there were a couple of crazy situations when it was hard not to.
But you managed somehow, right?
A professional's a professional, my friend.
Yeah, thanks. So you won't tell us who hired you, whatever we do?
Unfortunately, I can't, my friend. I made a promise.
You and your promises.
Some people still take them seriously.
You're a real piece of guano. You know that?
Of course. I've learned everything from you, you old fart.
So, what now? Where to next?
I think I should mourn, right?
You should.
But I don't know what to feel anymore, Sonny.
I understand, Natasha. You know, if you need anything...
Yes, I know where to find you.
See you around, sweetheart.
Ma'am?
Goodbye, detectives. And what about you, Sonny?
I'll go home and sleep. Maybe for 3 days. I'll try to forget.
I'm sorry I dragged you into this. If there's anything I can do...
I'm not sorry, Natasha. It's better this way. We find out painful truths, but at least we see clearly now, don't we?
Yes, I think you're right. Thank you.
We thank you, Natasha. You saved our lives.
But it was also me who endangered you in the first place, right?
Well, I won't argue about that.
Thank you.
Well, I won't argue.
Santino.
No, sir.
Then get the
Thanks again.
No wonder.
Well, actually...
Then who was it?
Natasha.
Really? I wouldn't have thought it of her. It's a pleasant surprise.
It was for us too, believe me. How did you know we were here?
I always pay attention, Sonny. And because I know you like you are my own nestlings.
No, I love it when you say pretty little things like that.
Don't get used to it, Marty.
So, what's your shoe size again, Mon?
35, Sonny. I like high heels. And because there's 2 of you, 2 pairs will do for a start.
Anything for you, darling.
I don't want just anything, Marty. I want shoes.
Yes, ma'am.
See you at the PD?
At the PD, Mon.
See you at the...
At the PD. How the hell did you find your way here, Tim? Always where the trouble is.
Sometimes I think you're the criminal mastermind behind all the dark dealings in this city.
I wish.
I wish too, because then we could legally throw you in jail.
I love your sense of humor, Sonny.
I wasn't joking.
So, where did you get the scoop?
Are you kidding me? The whole city's talking about you. You've left quite the mess behind.
That I admit.
Well, it's a miracle that all of the city's smear sheet journalists aren't here already. Oh, while we're at it, will you give me an exclusive interview?
Clock off, Tim.
Hey! Just one quote, guys. They say you've taken down the whole Wessler Empire. They say...
I say you're full of shit, Tim, and you can quote me on that.
Just one quote, guys.
I say you're...
Hey, Olivia.
Marty?
I just, wanted to thank you.
For what exactly?
For trying to save us.
I didn't do it only for you, believe me. I loved my job while I had it. Now my employee is dead, so I don't have a job anymore.
I didn't even think of that.
Of course you didn't.
Can I do anything to help?
I think I'll manage. I always do.
If there's anything at all.
Thank you, Martin. There's no need for that.
If there's...
Thank you,
You're a good boy, Bosco. Nice work.
You know, folks, somebody's gotta take care of the real police work while you're tearing up the city.
Sorry for the mess, Bosco, but you know us.
Yeah, unfortunately, I do.
How did you catch them? After the gunshot, I was sure these 2 would show up. They have a habit of doing that.
They were already in cuffs before then, Sonny. We had the house surrounded. If you could have hung on, maybe nobody would have died.
Hey, a second longer and it would have been us.
That's your story?
Cluck you sideways, Bosco. Nice catch, Bosco. You can mount them on your wall as trophies.
Yeah, I wish I could, Sonny.
Nice catch.
Yeah, I wish I...
Gentlemen.
Gentlemen?
We're honestly very sorry it had to end like this.
Yeah, this peacefully.
For myself, I'm glad, gentlemen. I would have sincerely regretted it if we had to shoot both of you, but unfortunately, that seemed to be the only solution to this, rather nasty situation. Fortunately, it didn't turn out that way. Joyful.
Don't think we'll be behind bars for long, chickens. Wessler may be dead, but his empire still won't crumble.
Oh, look at that. He can talk.
In complex sentences, too.
Yeah, or something like that.
Amazing.
I hope we'll meet again, gentlemen.
So do I, Shakespeare. And while you're sitting in your cell, you could teach your famous manners to your friend, too.
Maybe I will, Mr. Featherland.
I certainly hope so, pal.
So long, guys. So long.
So, here they are, ladies and gentlemen, the Chicken Police. in the flesh.
Damn it, Tim. Drop it and cluck off.
No, no, boys. This time, you deserve it.
What the cluck did you say, boss?
Stand up straight and try to look like someone who's glad to be alive.
Yes, sir. We'll try.
Ooh, attention chicken police. Say cheese.
keeps me turning back. I'm tired of being sane. Alone, we're still lying in my bed. All the colors are dead inside. The whole world goes to black and white. The moon is falling, I hear you calling. My city is on fire. I hear a bang and my heart beat skips. Rock hard knuckles and easy checks. Where are you, baby? I'm still your lady. I'm gonna burn you down. I try to run away, but my soul keeps me turning back. I'm tired of being sane. Chloe's still lying in my bed, and it's dead.
Natasha,
You were expecting me, weren't you?
I wouldn't say that, but I'm not surprised.
I just wanted to talk to you.
About what exactly?
You know very well.
What do you think, Natasha? Why didn't she tell me?
Because she loved you.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for you, she may have never left the place. Perhaps she'd still be there.
Ah, sheep shit.
We used to dream about falling in love with a nice man who comes and saves us someday. A knight in shining armor. You know, like in the fairy tales.
And how did that work out for you?
She fell in love with a good guy. I didn't. I envy her.
I'm not that good guy, Natasha. But if it's any consolation, she could have found him. Maybe she's living with him right now. Somewhere on the other side of the world.
Well, goodbye, Sonny.
So long, sweetheart. Hey, Natasha, you have a light? I've been trying to smoke this sorry-ass cig all day. It's driving me crazy.
Maybe you don't really need it.
Maybe you're right. Maybe.